Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, and another back-to-back with Kevin and Henry. Can't say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
We're glad to be here. Hi, everybody.
We're doing a beer that was sent to me from Mark in Georgia, better known as Bike Beer Barbecue, better known as Video Beer Reviews. This is Terrapin Side Project Volume 13, Big Daddy Vlady's Russian Imperial Stout. Now, do you think that's like the longest name for a beer ever?
No, but it is the most communist name
Yeah.
for beer. And I wonder if the guy that sent this to you is a secret communist.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't even want to read the description on here. It's jokingly about socialistic stuff, and it's, you know, some things aren't funny, and
Right. And Lenin's actually on the bottle.
Yeah, putting Vladimir Lenin on the beer, like I know Avery has like a dictator series or something, and I'm like, you know, it's not really funny to be putting mass murderers on beer.
Plus, like, you know, if you lived in the former Soviet Union, what kind of beer would they be drinking? I mean, we're talking like the worst macro brew crap, and you'd be waiting in a bread line for it.
Yeah.
So, I know all the commies in your comment section would be all like, "Oh, socialism is good. You guys are mean."
Yeah.
It's got almost like a black coffee kind of aroma.
Yeah.
Well, not really. When I say that, I'm stretching a little. It's got that very dark sort
Roasty,
of.
Yeah.
roasted coffee beans as opposed to coffee.
Yeah.
And a little bit sour smelling. Yeah, like you said.
All right, let's dive in. Wow, that's a lot of coffee.
Yep.
It's like coffee and followed by like a red wine. It's like a chocolate coffee plus red wine. I'm getting a lot of that dark bitterness immediately.
You know what I'm not getting? The 10.25% alcohol.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. It's 10.25% ABV.
I'm not getting that whatsoever.
I'm getting it.
Are you?
My initial mouthfeel on this, as soon as it was in my mouth, I was like, "Oh, that's not that good." You know, the alcohol's high. It's bitter. But then after I swallowed it, you know, the flavor profile just sort of opened up, and there's a lot going on here. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, the first sip is
that's
like
something.
intense. It's not even so much. It's like almost more espresso or cappuccino.
On
like,
the back end.
Yeah, more high-end kind of coffee. And the chocolate is more like a bitter kind of dry, like a baker's chocolate, not like any kind of rich...
Milk chocolate.
Right. And then kind of some kind of vinous.
It's probably that might be the alcohol content. Give me the wine quality.
I don't get the... I guess you're right. You get that wine alcohol content taste.
No.
I don't get the alcohol burn that you get from
Right.
some of...
Right.
Well, it's smoothed over by, you know, the roasty, just sort of textural stoutness here is smoothing over any alcohol burn, at least in my opinion.
There's kind of like a nice kind of creamy texture to the mouthfeel, too.
It's got an almost gummy texture.
Yeah.
It's a little thin up front. I'm surprised. I get a little watery aspect to it. I get coffee in the middle, little chocolate underneath, but not much, and then that dry, roasty espresso finish. And not an alcohol burn, but more what Henry was talking about, that the more winey alcohol, and a little bit of, I don't want to say turpentine, because that's bad.
Yeah, that's...
But you
yeah,
use
some
that
kind
to
of...
describe wine.
Sure.
You'll frequently use turpentine to describe
some
a
kind
wine.
of like petroleum kind of thing.
An oily, turpentine taste. I think Henry's right. I think it's going to change as it warms. It's a little cool. But for me right now, it's a little much. It's just a little much.
When you
even
kinda-
for a Russian Imperial Stout.
If you hold this in the mouth, you know, and you move it around, you kind of swoosh it in there, do you get a gummy quality at all in this? Because I get, you know, with some oatmeal stouts, you get that gummy sort of texture, and I'm getting it here.
I get more chocolate when I'm, you know, when you taste the beer, you want to get some air in there. That's why I do like the wine glass. Chad's always making fun of me that surface area wine.
I get the wine glass now. I like that kind instead of the big wide mouth one.
Well, the wide mouth gets even more surface area. And even then, I'll swirl around my mouth like Henry talks about, maybe suck some oxygen in there. I get more chocolate when I do that, and I think that's what this needs. It needs a pinch of sweetness to balance out that espresso finish, I think.
I am getting a nice kind of chocolatey sweetness. It's more of the bitter, dark baker's kind of chocolate or whatever. It's not any kind of the gourmet milk chocolate.
You're right.
Combined with the espresso coffee, I think they pair very well. And the intense, I don't want to say intense, but the stronger body from the 10.2% ABV. They're all blending very, very well. I think this is the kind of beer that would probably age pretty well, even though it's not bottle conditioned, as far as I know. To me, it's not as good as a Southern Tier Chocolate or Three Floyd's Dark Lord, but it's still really good. I'm not usually a big fan of Russian Imperials, but this one floats my boat. I'm 8, 9, B plus, A minus range. What are you guys thinking?
What you said, okay, about it needing a little sweetness, when this was cooler, when the beer was colder, I would have totally disagreed. I'm a guy who likes milk stout and sweet stouts and things like that. I think they're delicious.
Yeah, me too.
But I thought this was in line without it, and I was appreciating it. But now that I'm starting to get it just a little bit warmer, not by a whole lot, because you've seen me warming it, but there is a little bit of a hollowness. There's a missing dimension here that could really tie it up and make it amazing.
I agree, and I think that's why I'm going to have to respectfully disagree, Chad. This is not a lay-down beer. Because when you lay down a beer, I look for a large complexity of flavors, a large diversity of flavors, so it can kind of mellow out and mesh a little better. Here I get predominantly one flavor, and I think that's only going to be accented as it were to lay down, that those small complementary flavors would fade away, and you would get coffee, and that this would turn into an alcoholic coffee over time. It's a well-made, drinkable beer in terms of, am I going to go out and buy it again? Probably not. Let's go, I'm on Chad's show, I'll use his rating system, 7.
Yeah.
Solid, drinkable beer. I could use it in a smaller bottle. This is 22 ounces. Would you guys have been opposed to splitting 12 ounces as opposed to 22?
Sure. I think
4 ounces instead of 7.
right here, this is about right. I would not drink a 22 ounce of this myself.
No, it'd just be too intense.
Flavor-wise intensity, alcohol-wise intensity, it'd be a little much. So, smaller bottle maybe.
What are you thinking rating-wise? You haven't said.
I'm torn on this because it is, I do get complexity now. It's a subtle complexity. There's variation. It's a multifaceted entry into the sort of dark coffee, chocolatey, roasted. It's bitter.
Yeah.
It's good. But I think I will stay somewhere in the 7 zone on this one.
Officially, I'm going to go 8 on this. Not that you guys bring me down. Every time I redo a review, everybody's like, oh, you just went by what the other person said. But I'm noticing now I'm getting more of that petroleum, gasoline kind of smell, or whatever it is.
Which is designed to be there.
Yeah.
Right. If anybody's watching, they want that in there for this style. It's not that somebody dropped a can of gasoline in it.
Right. But overall, I definitely like it a lot. I like the coffee, the chocolate. Mouthfeel is pretty good. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's not drying out my mouth. That 10.2% ABV is well used. Not feeling like overwhelmed or full or anything like that. Great after dinner beer. It's not up there with the 9s and the 10s of like the Three Floyd's Dark Lord and so many other great Russian Imperials and chocolate stouts, but I think it's very good. So to me it's a solid 8. You guys are saying 7, which is just maybe we're splitting hairs, but
hey, I've been hand warming the whole time,
right?
And my opinion, it didn't get smoother necessarily with the warmth. And now that we've gotten this far into the review,
right?
Minus whatever gets cut here, I've really gotten it warm now. And it has not improved the way I would have hoped. It's actually gotten a bit more bitter, a bit more astringent,
Right.
And yeah, 7 is definitely on the nose.
Well, I mean, this was a great review. I think I wish we could do this all the time, but so hard to get Kevin and Henry at the same time. So, anyways, thanks again to Mark at Video Beer Reviews for
Thanks,
sending this to me. 7, 7, 8. I mean, it's still a pretty good average. And solid thumbs up from all of us. Yeah, so if you were able to get Terrapin, I'd say check it out for sure. Thanks to Kevin and Henry for coming over, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.